Hello and welcome to Totally Approachable Yoga. It is cold today, like 10 degrees outside, and maybe you can see we got a little snow. But the sun is shining and it's warm right in this little spot where I'm going to do the yoga, and let's try to warm up and get the blood flowing and have a basic yoga workout. Welcome. Let's stand in mountain pose, which is Tadasana, and put your fingers down. Feel the energy coming from your fingertips to the mat. Ground down into the four corners of your feet and close your eyes. Just take some deep breaths. Appreciate the sunshine on my back. I don't know what the weather's like where you are. And open your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale. And bring your hands down the midline. Again. And down. One more time. This time leave your hands up. We're going to do some side stretches. You've seen these before with me. Gently grab one wrist and tilt your torso over so you get a nice long stretch in the side body. Back to center, down, bring it up, and over to the other side. I'm going to do some gentle head rolls. I'm not really going to talk you through these, just move your head, tilt it forward. Really try to keep your shoulders relaxed as you do it. You can look over each shoulder, shake your head yes, shake your head no, shake out your wrists, circle the ankles, not angles, and just like get the blood moving. Okay, start at the top of your mat. Inhale up and swan dive down. You don't have to touch the floor. It's our first really forward bend probably of the day. Come up halfway. So what that means is put your hands on your shin and try to make your back flat and just come up. And then down again. Plant your hands, and to do that I'm going to bend my knees. Plant your hands and step back. Now let's step back into plank. And you might see me sometimes up like this. Even with my knees down. It can vary by the day, it can vary by the person. So whatever you're feeling, if your back feels strong, you can have your knees up. It's okay if you're up a little bit high, just make sure your core is engaged and you're not sagging. Don't dump into your low back. Okay, now from here, we're going to push back into down dog. And I need to adjust my feet a little bit. And let's get into our first down dog. And pedal out the feet, bend your knees, lift your hips. From here, lift your right leg up, round your back, and bring your knee to your nose. And let's bring it back up, and do that, but come to the outside of that elbow. And one more time, cross the midline to the opposite elbow. And bring it back. And take 2 rounds of breath. Let's repeat that on the other side. So, inhale, lift your left leg up. Round your back as you bring your knee to your nose. Back up. Bring it to the outside of your left elbow, and up, and diagonally across to the right. And bring it back down, down dog. 2 rounds of breath. From here, let's come forward into plank, and let's come down to our forearms. For forearm plank. And again, if you feel this is too much pressure on your low back, drop the knees. But we're not going to be here long. And in fact, push back up into sort of a moderate plank and then back up, down dog. Let's bend the knees and pull back into child's pose. That was a little more movement than we usually do at the start of class. I usually do more stretching and warm up, but I wanted to get the blood flowing on a cold day. Okay, now that we're down here, come into tabletop. Keep a flat back. Mine tends to arch. I have to work on that, engaging the core. Wrists, elbow, shoulders all in line, knees and hip. Look forward as you drop the belly and widen the collarbone for cow. And then round into cat. Let's do that more of a flow. You can go a little bit faster. Just warming up the spine. One more time. And still the movements. Take your right foot, bring it back, stretch those toes, and bring it back in. Left foot, stretch those toes. From here, take a deep inhale and bring your right arm up as you open the side body, and then thread the needle. So put it through the opposite arm, rest your cheek on the mat, and you're in a gentle twist. And if you want, you can raise up your left arm and even swing it around the back and grab your right thigh. Yeah, let's bring it back up. Push up. Let's do some cat-cows in between. Center out your body. I just got a nice crack in my back. And repeat it on the left. So left arm up. My arm doesn't go up as far on this side. And thread the needle. Rest your cheek. If you want, bring this arm up and around. You're getting some nice twists. And back. And push up. Now let's try, bring that right foot back again, but lift it up. And engage your core, I'm always gonna say that. Flex that foot hard and see if you can bring it to the side. And flatten that foot. And from here, come up and bring your arms up. This is like a modified gate pose. Bring it back. Tabletop. Bring your left leg back. Lift it up. I can already see I might have a problem with spacing here. So I'm going to turn so you can see me this way, and I have room to bring that leg out to the side. And up. Okay, good. While we're here on our knees, let's do a deep inhale. Bring your arms to a T. Open up. Give yourself a hug. Open up. Hug, but switch the cross. And just shake out those arms. Okay, come up to stand. Usually we build up to the balance poses, but I'm feeling pretty energized after that, so let's mix it up a little bit and do one of my favorite poses, tree. Ground down, put all the weight on one foot, and float the opposite foot up. And stay here for a minute. Just make sure you have your balance. Look at something that's not moving. Now, open up that hip without leaning the way I'm leaning. Put the flat of your foot either down by your ankle, on your calf, or even up to your inner thigh. Just don't rest it on the knee. Really try to open that up. You can have your hands on your hips. Maintain your balance. If you want, arms up, branches of a tree, and wave them. And try your best to come out of the pose with grace and dignity. Okay, pedal the feet. Let's try that on the opposite side. Weight on your right foot. Float the opposite leg up. Open the hip. Rest the foot on the opposite leg. Hands at hips or prayer center. And up if you want to raise those branches. Come out of the pose with grace and dignity. Okay, let's do chair pose or powerful pose. Inhale up and sit down in your imaginary chair. Now, this is how it looks from the side. So, tuck your bottom so you don't have an arch in your back. And really try to sit down as far as possible. Now, your hands can start here, straight up, or at a diagonal. Now, we're going to try to do some balancing, and some twisting while we're in chair. So, from here, just like when we were in tree, float one leg up. Just try to stay there for a second. And now on the other side. But maintain the integrity of the squat. Good. Now, come up, inhale. Down through the center. Again, inhale and squat down in chair. Dive forward and roll up, one vertebra at a time. Come down into chair. Let's see if we can do it with a figure four. So inhale, sit, lift that leg up, which we practiced before, and cross it over in a figure four. And see how long you can balance. You should feel a stretch, obviously, in the hip, and keep trying to maintain that you're sitting. There's a pretty sophisticated balance pose from here. You can go down to the floor and tilt up as an arm balance. We're not going to do that today. Come up. Okay, let's switch sides. This side for me is always a little bit less steady. Flex this foot, that helps sometimes. Good. Okay, along the same lines, we're going to try to do eagle pose. So take a few centering breaths. Put the weight on your left side. Float the other leg up. Cross it around. That might be as far as you go. But if you can, tuck that toe behind so you're actually wrapped around. And squat a little bit. And eagle arms, if right now we have the right leg over, I believe we do left arm under. So you're kind of twisted up like a pretzel. And tilt your forehead down if you can. And come out of the pose with as much grace and dignity as you can. Shake it out. Let's try the other side. So, cross it over and tuck it behind. This one doesn't quite go as much for me on that side. And what do we do? Left under right? So now we're doing right under left. No, I think we did the opposite. And now my whole pose is compromised. Let's try that again. Left leg wrap around. And eagle arms. Squat a little bit and bend your forehead. That's a tough one, especially that side for me. Okay, let's do some modified sun salutations. Inhale up, swan dive down, halfway up, flat back, plant your hands, step back into plank, lower all the way down, slowly if you can. Come up in a modified back bend. Push up through plank and into down dog. Lift your right leg up. Bring it through like we did before with your knee to your nose, rounding your back so that you can get your foot all the way through. And then come up into a lunge. And settle in for 3 rounds of breath. And down, step it back, to down dog. Bend your knees, look forward, and step forward to the front of your mat. Let's repeat on the other side. Inhale, swan dive down, halfway up with a flat back. Plant your hands, step back into plank, lower down, come up in a back bend, push back up through plank and into down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Bring your knee to your nose as you round your back and bring your foot through. On this side, I gotta help it. Make sure you're steady and come up into a lunge. And from here, bring the back leg up to meet the front. Let's step our feet wide on the mat. Inhale. Hands to prayer. Point your front foot perpendicular to the top of the mat. Tilt that back foot in. Hips are facing the wide end of the mat. Inhale. Reach your torso. And when you can't reach anymore, drop that hand down and bring the other one up. 12 o'clock for triangle pose. Bring it up. And while we're there, bend that front knee. Warrior two. From warrior two, flip that hand. Do a gentle back bend, keeping the back leg straight and the front leg bent. Peaceful or reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Rest your forearm on your bent knee. And bring this arm over your ear. Side angle. Let's repeat that sequence on the opposite side. Inhale, arms to a T. Reach your torso. Drop your arm down. Bring your other arm up, 12 o'clock for triangle. Back up. Bend that front knee. Warrior two. Flip the hand. Reverse for peaceful warrior. And bend over that bent leg for side angle. Back up. Straighten both your feet to be parallel. Inhale. And let's do a wide-legged forward fold. And drop your hands. If you can, walk your hands back a little bit so that they're almost behind you. That'll give you a deeper stretch through the back of your neck and the back of your legs. Hands to hips, hinge at the hips and come up. And deep breath in and exhale. Now, start as if we're going to do triangle again on that side. Arms to a T. Reach as if we're doing triangle. Bend down, but this time, switch your arm and look to the opposite side for a reverse triangle. I'm not sure I'm really doing this right, to be honest with you. But either way, you're getting a nice twist. And cartwheel back up. Let's try that on the other side. Reach. And switch. And look behind you for reverse triangle. Good. Okay. Shake it out. Back to the top of your mat. Inhale. Dive forward. Don't hit your head on the coffee table. Step back into plank. And back up to down dog. Inhale that right leg up. Knee to nose, bring it through. This time, drop the back knee and come up in a low lunge. And push forward so you feel the stretch. Inhale. Hold back, straighten that front leg, flex the foot for half split. Pop that back knee up. Now you're in a high lunge, but just for a second. Bring the back leg up to meet the front. Repeat on the other side. Inhale. Dive forward. Step into plank. Push back into down dog. This time, lift the left leg up. Bring it through. Drop the back knee. Come up in a low lunge, settle in and push. Feeling the stretch. And bring your hands down, straighten that front leg, flex the foot for half split. Pop that back leg up. We're in a high lunge. Just for a beat. And this time, turn to the front. Turn your toes out. Inhale. Cactus those arms. Squat down in goddess. Up for 5-pointed star. Sit again for goddess. One more time. And down. And let's come down to sit on our mats. Roll back and keep your feet planted on the mat and your knees bent. You can cactus the arms. Let's make a figure 4, similar to how we did in chair, but now we're supine or laying down. Reach through. Pull that up, gently open up that thigh, and bring your opposite foot to the sky. Take 2 rounds of breath. And bring it down. Let's switch legs. Feel that gentle opening. Foot to the sky. Take 2 rounds of breath. All right, we're in the home stretch. Let's plant our feet. Let's take a deep inhale. And as we exhale, push into your feet and lift your pelvis for bridge pose. Shimmy those shoulders underneath. Clasp the hands if you can. Come up on your toes to get a little more push up in your pelvis, and then you can bring those heels back down. And roll it down. Grab your knees. Do some gentle spinal circles. And now, what I usually do is sit up and wish you a good day and namaste, because I think it's boring to watch me in Shavasana. But the truth is, I hope that you're really doing Shavasana. It is a really important part of the practice, and a lot of people have trouble, myself included, just being still. So I'm not going to make you watch me for the whole time, but let's just try together to rest in corpse pose. Take up space on your mat. You could put your feet out to the corners. Put your hands up in a receiving position. Close your eyes. Just breathe. If there's an image or a memory or a thought that you find calming, you can picture that. Some people like to picture the ocean waves. So let's pretend we've been doing this for 5 minutes. And to awaken yourself from Shavasana, introduce some gentle movements. So wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, maybe circle your wrists, gently move your head. And when you feel ready, roll over to one side in the fetal posture. And then push yourself up to a gentle seated position. And if you can, keep your eyes closed. Thank you for letting me lead you in this practice. I hope in the future you'll do a little bit longer Shavasana, but I wanted you to at least experience it so that when you go to a studio, you don't just jump up after the last pose and run away. Namaste. Stay warm on this cold day.